Oh yeah, it's a Paul Gilson YouTube channel here, live from the outskirts of Rochester, New York. Yeah, happy Tuesday. Yeah, and it's the 17th of June already. Yeah, so grab whatever you want to smoke, grab whatever you want to drink. Let's start something on fire and let's have a smoke together. Nothing wrong with that. Oh yeah, so I really should be packing right now, but I get home from work and I'm beat. hmm Don't worry, I got a loaded pipe up here with some good stuff, a great pipe. We'll start that on fire in a minute. I should actually be packing right now instead of doing this video, but there's so many of you that really look forward to the videos and the smoke togethers that I just don't want to let you down. It's just, that's the way it rolls. I got guitars I have to pack up, put in the cases. I've got like a million jars of tobacco that have to be packed up. I don't even want to begin to tell you what I have to do. Those 4 huge boxes just scratched the surface, that I moved yesterday. And I don't want my son showing up, Saturday morning and being like, "What the heck, Dad? Didn't you pack?" So, what are you going to do? It's just, sorry, son, I don't want to have to say that. I want to be able to have all the small stuff out of here. Actually, I have about, I would say, probably about 25 of my percent of my kitchen moved over there already. So, yeah. Uh, Tonight I'm going to work on, well, we'll see what I'm going to work on. I really don't want to work on anything. I'm such a horrible procrastinator. And I'm just terrible at getting stuff done. When I go to work, I get stuff done. But I'm just such a horrible procrastinator. I'm looking at all this stuff all around me that has to be packed up, boxed, and I'm just like, oh man, this is gonna be all right, Oh yeah. So we have Pabst Blue Ribbon beer here, a PBR. Yep, cheers to everyone. We've got this, it's a no-name pipe. It's a Canadian. It's got like a smoky kind of stem. You can see it real good there. And in that, it's a gorgeous pipe. In that, we have some, my favorite go-to. I've got a couple pounds of this Seattle Pipe Club Plum Pudding Bourbon Barrel Aged. Yep. I don't know if you can still get that stuff anymore. I just don't know. I do know this. I have to get another beer. Be right back. I don't know. Let's start something on fire here. Seattle Pipe Club Plum Pudding Bourbon Barrel Aged. It's, how old is it? 2021, so it's 4 years old. It's gratification. Wow, what a great smoking pipe. I'll tell you what, if you're buying pipes and this one just says handmade in Italy, it has no maker or anything. I don't know why, but don't be afraid to buy those pipes. If they look good, you clean them out and you smoke them, they'll smoke good. Oh, yeah. So my landlord's daughter got a dog. Good luck with that. You have to, the thing of it is with dogs, you have to have time for them. I mean, if you're gone 10 hours a day, keeping them in a cage or something like that, that's not fair. I don't know how she's going to deal with it. She's going to college and working a job. Not my problem. This Seattle Pipe Club plum pudding, bourbon barrel aged, is just so good. It's like a true Balkan blend. Lots of Latakia. What's it got in it, actually? Let's find out what this has in it. It has says it's complex, smoky, spicy, which it is, and positively addictive, which it is. Plum pudding bourbon barrel aged is Joe's dream come true. Enjoy the ingredients. Latakia, Turkish Orientals, Virginias, Cavendish, and Perique. And it's just so well balanced. Pressed in a crumble cake and then sliced. So there's like a million slices in there. You can't see it really. I'm not going to pull one out. All right, I'll pull one out. Let's see. Let's pull. I don't know. It's kind of broken up a little bit, but that's the way it is, comes in slices. Oh, the smell is phenomenal. It just is great. Yeah. So I have a son that I've never told you guys about. Many years ago, well, not too many years ago, but probably about 8 years ago, I started dating a girl. And she had an autistic son, and he was on all kinds of medication and everything. She was able to get him to graduate with his degree from high school. And then she was able to get him a job at the high school with a full pension and all that stuff. And for some reason, his father never wanted him. And he'd be riding his bicycle down the road. His father would drive past, wouldn't even stop to say hi, wouldn't even wave at him. How sad is that? And so about 8 years ago, I made a commitment to this young man and his mother that he would be my son. Even though we don't share any blood or anything, I just found that he was a good person to invest in, and he had come so far. Now he's off all of his autism medication. He's like normal. That medication will mess you up, and he's not on anything at all now. And so I got a text from him for Father's Day. He's like, hey, happy Father's Day. I love you, Dad. You know, how sweet is that? So I have another son that I didn't tell you about, and his name is Tyler. A great young man. Now he's like 26 or something like that. And he's got his moments and stuff like that where he's like, I want to leave the school district and go to work for somebody else. I said, son, don't do that. I'm going to be upset with you if you do that. And he's like, why? I says, because you have a pension, a retirement. You've got like 8 years into that place. You only got another 12 more years to go, and you'll be retired, and you could retire. Then go get that other job. Oh, okay. I just don't. I can't comprehend how any father wouldn't be proud of that son. I can't comprehend how any father could drive past him and not stop and say, I love you, son. That's uncomprehendable to me. I don't get that. I've never met his father or anything like that, but I made a commitment to him that I would be his father, and I am. He calls me once or twice a week, and just a great young man. Glad he's off all of his medication. But that's all we'll talk about that. He's doing great. I'm proud of Tyler, So, yeah. I'm not with his mom anymore or any of that stuff, but it doesn't matter. When you make a commitment, they got this big brother club and this father club and all that stuff. But when you make a commitment to a young man to be there, you better be ready to make a commitment and keep it for life. If not, don't do it. So I hear from them, a couple times a week, and so forth. When he calls, it's always like, hi, this is Paul Gilson. This is Tyler's office. How can I assist you? And he's like, he laughs, Yeah, so I don't know. This is what it is. What are you going to do? Yeah, so we've graduated to a cigarette. Yeah. So, anyways, this young man, every year he calls me once or twice a week, and I've made a commitment to him to be his dad. I remember a few years ago, his mom came to me and said, Tyler said that he needs a grounded, good man to be a mentor in his life, and he wants you to be that. And I said, oh, fine. Here's a commitment. There you go. That's a commitment. And now, even though him and his mother and I are not together anymore or not involved, that doesn't change things between him and me. It's, so. Well, Paul the Pipe Guy has to get packing. Yeah, we do. Stoned up. I freaking hate moving. But I can't lay this all on my son to be like, show up Saturday morning at 7:30 and be like, Dad, nothing's packed. I want to have all the small stuff packed and moved over there. So I'm going to be working very hard for the next couple hours. Got to do what you got to do. It'll be all worth it, Anyways, I'm Paul the Pipe Guy. Over, but not out.